6, Advent of Code 2021. Let's do some A/B tests. 1, 2, 3. How come I don't hear myself? The volume's low, or I have the audio wrong? I have the audio wrong.
Okay, there we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Looks okay. Maybe a little bit off, but I don't want to keep testing it. Hey there, Sarian. Sounds good? Good. Yeah, it was just that one day that it was messing up. So this week, my schedule's all like really messed up. I probably won't be able to start any of these puzzles on time, not even the ones like tonight or Wednesday. But I'll try to do these as I can. So I was going to do day 6 now, and then I can't be around when this unlocks, but I should be getting back like within like 15 to 30 minutes of this unlocking. So I'll start a stream again, second part tonight to do day 7. So yeah, I got an hour and about 10 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes to do part 6 before I have to go out on a little trip. So hey there, TS Just. So yeah, we're going to set up, and I'll explain what Advent of Code is for anyone who happens to be coming by and doesn't know what I'm doing, and then we'll do day 6. How does that sound? Sounds good to me. Yes, Rymo, that sounds awesome. Oh, I'm glad you like it too, chat. Hey there, Anakin Luke, how are you doing? Advent of Code hype. I need a day 6. So all this could be done with macros, but I'm just too dang lazy to do that, you know? There was a lot of typing for day 5, wasn't there? All right. Get rid of the actual implementation here. And here. Make sure it still compiles. Get a terminal ready. Cargo run 6-1. I'm in the wrong directories. This is why I do it before I start. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a timer on my phone here probably to like time how long it takes me to do part 6. Next challenge is almost releasing. That means it's almost 6 a.m. here. Yep. Nix Craig, it's almost morning time for you, huh? That's why you set up your runner the way you did. So all you need to do is those 2 things. Yeah, I know. Did I get a haircut or something? No, I just did my hair a little bit differently, I guess, than other streams. My hair's getting kind of long. I need my barber, aka Mrs. Rymu, to cut it soon. Actually, cutting it anytime a month ago to now would have been good too, but you know, people are busy. Spent way too long on getting system calls working for your BrainF interpreter. Oh well. Someone in Discord was saying that they're going to do either yesterday or today's solution in a language that they're designing, and I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe I'll do something like that next year. Just invent my own language and try to solve it in my own language, because that might be interesting. Okay. I'm not doing a warm-up today like I did in the previous days. So anyway, what is Advent of Code? If you happen to be joining me and you don't know what it is, here's a link for you. So it's an Advent calendar, small programming puzzles. We're on day 6, so day 1 through day 25 map to the first 25 days of December, so it's Christmas themed. You get 2 puzzles per day. They're usually related to each other, so like part 2 builds on part 1. So if you get both parts done for a day, you get 2 golden stars. And what should I say? There are really 2 ways you can do Advent of Code, I think. You can either speed run it, where you're trying to get the leaderboard. So like yesterday's or day 5's leaderboard, the winner was someone who did it in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Or the other way to do Advent of Code, I think, is a more relaxed approach, where you just pick some goal for yourself, like pick a language that you want to learn, or maybe you just want to chill, pick a language you're already comfortable with, and you can do it whenever. You just don't get any official score. You have to actually be at the top 100 time-wise to get points in the thing, but I'm not going to speed coder, so I'm not going to be getting any points. I'm still really into the Rust programming language, so that's what I'm going to be using. So I already have days 1 through 5 on my VODs if you want to check them out. There's also lots of other streamers on Twitch who you could probably catch that are doing in different languages. We're going to do day 6, which unlocked yesterday. They unlock each night Eastern time at midnight. So that'll be an hour and 37 minutes from now. Day 7 will unlock. So let's get started. For me, on day 6, we're 22 hours behind, but that's okay. Day 6, lanternfish. The sea floor is getting steeper. So the whole premise of this year is that you drop the keys to Santa's sleigh into the ocean, and now you're trying to find where they are, and it's like a sea adventure. So we're in like a submarine or something now. Maybe the sleigh keys got carried this way. Along the seafloor, a massive school of glowing lanternfish swims past. They must spawn quickly to reach such large numbers, maybe exponentially quickly. You should model their growth rate to be sure. Yeah, the private leaderboards, I have a few of those, so let's see. Should take a small diversion to see the private leaderboard. So there's the one Endorn made. So like TS Joss has already solved it. Day 6. I'm a day behind. Looks like Ju and some anonymous person have done part 1, but not part 2 of day 6. And a couple of the streamers have private leaderboards as well. Although you know nothing about this specific species of lanternfish, you make some guesses about their attributes. Surely, each lanternfish creates a new lanternfish once every 7 days. However, this process... Actually, I needed to start the timer. So what, add like a minute or so to this? However, this process isn't necessarily synchronized between every lanternfish. One lanternfish might have 2 days left until it creates another lanternfish, while another might have 4. So you can't model each fish as a single number that represents the number of days until it creates a new lanternfish. Oh, so you can model it. Okay, so... Alright. Furthermore, you reason a new lanternfish would surely need slightly longer before it's capable of producing more lanternfish. 2 days more for its first cycle. So suppose you have a lanternfish with an internal time value of 3. After 1 day, it would become 2. After another day, it's 1, then 0. After another day, its internal timer would reset to 6, because it's a 7-day cycle, and it would create a new lanternfish with an internal timer of 8. So that's 2 more. After another day, first lanternfish should have internal timer 5 and 7, etc. A lanternfish that creates a new fish resets its timer to 6, not 7, because of zeros included. New lanternfish starts with an internal timer of 8, because it doesn't start counting until the next day. Realizing what you're trying to do, the submarine automatically produces a list of ages of several hundred nearby lanternfish. Uses your puzzle fish. For example, suppose you were given this list. So when they say for example, to me, that equates to a unit test. So there's our unit test input. This list means that the first fish has an internal timer of 3, second is 4, 3, so on. So simulating these fish over several days will proceed as follows. So it grows exponentially. Each day a 0 becomes a 6 and adds a new 8, while each other number decreases by 1 if it was present at the start of the day. Example, after 18 days, there are a total of 26 fish. After 80 days, there would be a total of 5,934 fish. So that tells me 2 things. That answer is that, and 80 is a constant we need. So const days use size equals 80. All right. So we get our puzzle input. I'll just go ahead and do that now. And make a new file called 6.txt, paste our input into there. I can actually, oh, never mind. I'm like, I don't have to have the new line, so it can just be 1 line, but my editor config is adding a new line, so that's okay. We'll deal with that later. You almost crashed your PC on this one? I can already think of an optimization. We don't actually need to have like a memory location for each one of these, because we know if 2 fish have the same counter, they're going to always have the same counter. So we only need, what, 8 different counters? Something like that, right? We just need to know how many for each counter. So I think that's the way I'm going to model it. There's going to be 9 memory locations, and each one will just say how many of that kind of fish. So that's actually how we're going to start this. So we're going to take our input and reduce it to how many of each number. So there would be 2 3s, 1 4, 1 1, 1 2, and 0 of everything else. Now you're thinking with portals. Exactly. So let's do this. So part 1, inner. Input split on comma dot map n to n parse as usize dot unwrap, and I'm going to want to trim. Start. Make sure I have inlay hints turned on. Whoops. And put a to-do at the end. So it's an iterator of sizes. Exactly. So then for each one, I'm going to fold into a into an array of 0, 8. The mutable counters and number that counters n plus equal 1 and counters is returned. So then we get back an array with 8 numbers in it. So then we have to run 80 days, right? So after folding, actually, hold on. This is what we're going to start with in an outer fold, I think. So really what we're folding is the numbers 0 to days. Iter fold, that is the initializer. And then we have mute counters, and then the day, we don't really care about the day number. Right? Can I not iterate a range? There was a way to iterate a range. Was it into iterator? Is that how you do it? Yes. Okay, cool. Still working. So, how did I end up back on this page? What? I don't know. Back to day 6. I don't know how back got me there. Anyway, confusing. So really we want to shift all the numbers down, and all the ones that reach 0, well, all the ones that go to 0 we put into the 8. So we take what's in slot 0 and we move them to slot 8. Actually, move them to slot 8 and slot 6. Add to slot 6. Actually, we would take what's in slot 0 and add it to slot 7. Shift everything to the left. And also add what was in slot 6 to slot 8, right? So I think I can just hand code this, right? Counters, well, let n8 equal counter 6, right? Yes. No, 0. And then counters 0 equal counters 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. There might be a more elegant way to do this, but there's only 8, so I don't really care too much. And that's n8. Right? So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I also said all the ones that were in 6, no, were in 0 go to 6. So this is, it's got to be a better name than N8. How about gen? We'll call it gen. So it's 6 plus gen. Wrong slot, right? 6. So what was in 0 gets added to 6. And then these are the youngsters that were in, oh, then this needs to be a 9, not an 8. These are the ones that just generated a new child, and these are the youngsters that were at 8. They all end up at 7. No, I'm wrong. The ones that were at 7 and the new generation end up at 6. Got it. So then, how does it want the answer to be given? Oh, the total number of fish. So then that's just summing these at the end, right? So dot iter or into iter sum to string. Get rid of the let x at the top. I think we're done then, right? What was the warning that I got before? No, there's a annotation needed. So it needs to know the actual type. There. Okay, yeah, there is a warning here. Probably because it's telling me this can just be a character, not a string slice. Okay, ready to go? Run that test. Why is it building everything? Oh, I think I trashed the target folder after last time I streamed. So it's building everything. Yeah, we passed, so time to run the real thing. Cartographer 161. How do we get a 9? Wait, am I in the right... what the heck? Line 15? Oh, we had a 9 as input? Oh, interesting. We have a 9 somewhere in there. No results. Why does it think that there's a 9 then? No, the length is 9, but the index is 60. Why is the index 60? Hold on. Did I do something silly in the n? Take the input, split it by commas. How about we just debug this? I must have done something silly. Okay, what did I do? Why is the first number 60? Oh, I know why. I did something silly. I was reading day 5's input, not day 6's input. All right, that makes sense. All right, run it again. 390,923. Yes, so that was 11 minutes, 28 seconds, so add about a minute, so like 12 and a half minutes. Well, I need to record that somewhere, so what better place than here? Solved in 12, 28. All right. Reset and start part 2. Suppose the lanternfish live forever and have unlimited food and space. Would they take over the entire ocean? After 256 days in the example above, there would be a total of that many lanternfish. Goodness. That's our input for the test, though. Same input. And it's 256, so we should say that this is days part 1, and then we have a constant for days part 2, which is 256. Is it just run it again, but with a different days constant? Okay, then I don't need to say part 1. I can just say inner. And then just say inner. And then get rid of part 2 inner, right? What's the error? Oh, here. Oh, wait, no, I need a different number of days. So days part 1 and then days part 2. Oh, that's how we'll make it different. Actually, I guess I can make it an argument here. So I just have to repeat myself here. Right? And then make this one days. And then make this one days. Make sure that part 1 still works. Yep. Test part 2. Yep. So run part 2. And this is the number. There we go. Did it in 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Hey there, Aunt Perry. Look at that rust and slide. Part 2 super easy when you have a proper solution. Guess I had a proper solution then. Hey. 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Slice, rotate left? I didn't. Oh. You're saying instead of this. But hand coded, right? Would that be faster than my hand coded? I bet this is super fast, right? I guess we should test it. You can do it without rotating the full array. Probably. But that's part 2 of the game, right? Part 1 of the game is to just solve it. Part 2 is to think of clever solutions to solve it better. Rotate left probably does some SIMD magic. Well, wouldn't the compiler figure out that I'm doing some kind of thing that SIMD magic could accomplish? Some folk who found a closed solution. I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like mathematically? Given basically 10 numbers, what is the answer given some kind of equation? I can imagine it because return to game to day 6. Once you recognize that you don't actually need to have a list of numbers, you just need to have a counter. You just need to have 10 counters, and basically it's a what is that called? It's a feedback loop, right? And here's the feedback right there. If it wasn't for that, then it would just be the numbers just rotating around a certain number of times. You just take your day counter and take mod 10 of that and then rotate that many times and you're done. But with this feedback, I can imagine that there's a mathematical way to express this feedback loop. Matrix exponentiation was involved. Wow. So a mathematician would score big time on this problem probably when they recognize how to do this rotation with feedback in some clever mathematical way. So it works the same as Fibonacci by matrix multiplication. Yeah, I guess this is kind of like this is, since gen is counter 0, this is sort of like Fibonacci, only with several steps, several iterations between them, right? Yeah, so I can see that. I can go with that. It's a 3-liner. Link for witchcraft. That's okay. We don't need to see witchcraft. Besides, the witchcraft would probably spoil it for me trying to make this more optimized. I want to bench this. I'm curious about how slow it is. Hey, the good news is I solved it before I have to run, and so I won't have to spend extra time. Was this not ready to go? It's not ready to go. I won't have to spend any time before or after doing part 7 tonight. I'm not ready to go because I didn't add one here. Yeah. How many days do you think it'll take before I relent and pick up someone's crate to do the scaffolding for me? To get rid of this hand-coded scaffolding. Warming up for 3 seconds. Okay, 778,000 iterations sounds like my algorithm is pretty dang fast. 6.9 microseconds. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anything sub-millisecond. Oh, I forgot to see how fast did everyone else do this, and how does my... Oh, and I forgot to also write down my counter. Solved part 1 in I'll put this at the top. Solved part 2 in O2. What was it? Did I already wipe my... I already wiped it. Anybody remember? It was like 2 minutes and like 8 seconds or something like that, right? What did people get for day 6? Yes. 2 minutes and 9 seconds for both parts. Vataveros, how is it? How do you do this so fast? Yeah, there's not much of a spread too, right? From 2 minutes to 5 and 47. So Vataveros should be on this right there, 1 minute and 57. So it literally took 12 seconds between solving part 1 and solving part 2 for Vataveros. So Vataveros must have seen, I just need to change my, what, number of days from 80 to 52, 56 and run it again? Because that's all I had to do in the end, right? Different number of days. So why did it take me 2 minutes? I think it's because I took the time to read it, and then also to, rather than copy pasting the code, I just chose to run the same code because it really irritated me that the code would be exactly the same except for this constant. All right, so I'm obviously very slow compared to the speedrunners. It takes me 12.5 minutes compared to their... To make it on the board, I would have had to do like 6 minutes or less. Let me try the solution with the rotate left. So it's counters dot... you said it's rotate left? Aha. Rotates the slice in place such that the first middle elements of the slice move to the end, while the last... So it would just be 1, right? First. No, I want to rotate right, don't I? Wait, left or right? When they say end, do they mean what I mean when I say end? Because I don't want it to move it to the front, I want it to move it to the end. Hold on. It takes linear time though? Use the custom language, you think? Oh, that's how you do it, right? Did the rotate left. Your part ran in 1.3 microseconds. What did I get? 6.9 microseconds. No parsing. Yeah, but the parsing is probably the biggest part of this, right? We got to include your parsing, Sarian. Otherwise, like, I won't be able to compare. Also, we figured out your computer is a little bit faster than mine, right? So me running your solution would probably be like 2 microseconds. And then what if we included the parsing? See, because we're in that range now where the parsing can become a significant factor. I know it's uninteresting, but it becomes significant in the timing. The alternative is I would need to change my benching so that I don't bench the entire part 6.1. But how did I name this? How did I get the... Oh, is it under lib? Yeah. So I don't take the whole part 1 from day 6 right here, but instead just measure the fold basic, or not the fold, but measure the this lambda basically, right? That the lambda alone folded, this inner fold. Actually, now that I think about it, I had 2 levels of fold. I could probably collapse those 2, right? Wait a minute. Yeah, I should be able to collapse those, right? hold on. Why do I have an inner fold like that? Can't I? Oh, it's because I needed to have two different sources of iteration. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's a little bit faster. You have a newer computer than I do. Part 2 with parsing 4 milliseconds. Mark, that's closer to mine. Let's see how fast the rotate. I just couldn't wrap my brain around this. The first, let's say, it's either going to be 1 or 10 minus, or 9 minus 1, right? Wait a minute, rotate. Okay, it's just worded in a weird way. It's like rotating it, even though it says left, it's really rotating it to the right. So it would just be rotate 1, right? Yeah, okay. So then I would do that, and then I would just add to 6 plus equal gen, right? This is a little shorter. Yeah. So bench now with it using rotate. Here we go. Is it any faster? We'll find out. Looks like it's slower because it's doing fewer iterations. It's slower. So that tells me that this inner thing actually isn't the thing. That actually manually doing the rotation is faster. So it's to get our speed up, it's somewhere else that we have to attack. It could be the converting back to string, right? Or maybe this is just the fastest we can get when we include the parsing. So I could try to remove the parsing from the bench and see what it really is. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, let's do this. So there's a way I could split this up, right? We can call part 2. We can make 2 versions of this. We can say part 2 and part 2 bench. And part 2 parse, actually. So I don't know how you do it, Sarian, but I'm thinking I'm not even going to collect it. I'm just going to have day 2 be parse be generic on something that iterates off an item which is usize. And then this one just implements one of these. I don't know if you... I'm guessing you do something similar, that you don't do a collect because... Or collect would make it cleaner. Should I just do a collect and then this can take in a slice? It actually might be better performant if this actually generates a vector of use size, and actually not even use sizes, but something smaller. Since the numbers are small, why don't we just go to the minimum size? I could play with the size later too, and then this just takes... oh, I even wrote that in the wrong position. This needs to give me a use size, for lack of a better type, but it has to take in input, which is a slice of U8s. And then we'll have part 2 call both of them. So this needs to take input, which is a static string, and it would do inner to, or part 2 parse input, part 2 bench that to string, right? And then we just need to, why did I call it part 2 bench? It should just be yeah, we should put it in here, days part 2, and then this becomes inner parse, like that. Inner bench. So then I can just call, I can break these two apart and only benchmark the bench one. Given you'd be able to push an arbitrary amount of data, you'd still need a capacity check. What were we talking about? Static size ring buffers? Isn't that like a vec DQ that you've, what is the word? Reserved space for? Doesn't vec DQ becomes a ring buffer, especially if you keep the size constant or smaller than what you reserved, right? Oh, I didn't read the message before. It does a capacity check even if it doesn't technically need to. Like you could take the DQ implementation, copy it, and remove the capacity check. There you go. Okay, have a good night, Nick Scrage. In OCaml, huh? Cool. Like we have the start is always at the start of the array and the end is always at the end. The ring above the start, that's true, but that's just one additional field that you have. And then something you have to add in your calculations and stuff. Anyway, we want the contents of this to have parts of this. So let me just start with the whole thing and we'll do the parsing first. Actually, Sarian, would you include the collapsing into the array of, I guess it would be size, array of numbers like that? Or would you consider that part of what you bench? Just for the sake of fairness, do you bench just the input as that starting sum list, or do you do the summing as part of what you bench? Collect into its main storage as part of this parsing. So you would do it this way? What do you mean by collect it into the main storage? Is it, because this is what I would maybe call the main storage. Hey there, Musin, how are you doing? That's how you do it? Okay. Because one might argue that this is part of making the solution, is to take the input and doing the summation. That's part of the solution. But if we don't count that, then that's fine. Anyway, so that means I don't want this. I just want the inner fold, right? And I just want to collect that. I know you don't even need to collect it. Just do that. All right, and then what we're actually profiling is this part of it. There, and I have to change this actually. What did I do wrong there? Why doesn't it not like that? Oh, I forgot to pass in the days. Shoot. So that goes on the second part, not the first part. And that goes here. Days. Okay, so then, yeah, we just take the input and place it there, right? And then it's not a toString. We remove that part. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't break it. Okay, so then I can change the actual benchmarking. So I need to expose this function separately. So we'll call it part to bench, no, inner bench as p6 to bench. And then that's what we'll call in the benchmarker. So actually I need both the inner parse. I need the inner parse too. It's just not timed, right? P6 to parse. And they're shared too, right? So then these aren't even, there's no 2 here. I just need to expose the constant that I used. I think. Yeah. As P6 days. It's probably going to want me to capitalize that, right? All right, so then benchmarks. So then we'll make a separate one, 62p, where it splits it into 2 pieces. So then it's let input equal p6 parse, p6 days, and then b iteration with p6 to no, p6 bench. Oh, I need to expose the input too. And here, input as p6 input. Benchmarks, this is input. P6 days. It needs to not return anything, so then I guess I'll just do that. Okay, so then here we go. See how fast it is. Drum roll. 76 million iterations? Oh, this is going to be fast. Super fast. 65 nanoseconds. Well, 66 nanoseconds. Hold on. Should we make sure that it's actually doing the solution? I guess we can put a debug in front here, right? And we should see our input counters at least. Wait, why did it print it multiple times? It's printing it lots and lots of times. Why is it printing it so many times? I don't know why it printed it so many times. I guess it ran it... I guess we don't have any control about how many times it runs the actual bench function, right? So it runs this multiple times, and then this is the inner thing it actually times, right? Switch to the manual shifting sub 100 minutes. So you're on par with where I am then, right? Under 100 nanoseconds. So it's that rotate left that kills it? So should I verify that? If I go and, well, first let me remove the debug. And put in the shift left. I was thinking when I wrote this, I'm like, we can't beat manually unrolling it like that. As far as I know, unless, like you said, there's some kind of weird SIMD trick, right? So counters.rotate left 1, and then we just keep this and make it a plus equal. And kill our performance, right? Make sure I didn't break it. Didn't break. See what the number... That's still fast, 75 million. So it didn't really make any impact on it. Right? Let me put that back. Oh wait, I did the wrong one. Sorry. In fact, I should probably remove inner, because that just screwed me up, right? Nothing actually calls inner now, right? Who calls inner? Part 1 does, but part 1 need not call that anymore. Let me fix this up so I don't make this mistake again. Part 1 shouldn't call inner. It should just do that, and that should be days 1. Inner isn't called anymore, so we delete it. Make sure I didn't break it. And then we'll get a fairer test. Oh. Oh, yeah. It's part... Wait a minute. I guess we have to just use this whole thing here, right? And put this in place of that. Yeah. And then that's with 2. There we go. Okay. Actual fair test now with rotate left. Oh, I didn't put the rotate left in. Shoot. Okay, this is without the rotate left. While it's calculating, I'll just do the work here. Plus equal. So, 66 nanoseconds without the rotate left. What is it with the rotate left? Does some memcopy mem moves to keep stable addressing. So that's what's killing the performance, right? Yeah, it's slower. 2.2 million, and so that's what? A little bit under, a little bit over. Yeah, 2.2 microseconds. So it's 3,000% slower. So there we go. We learned that rotate left is not good to have in, for small slices in your innermost loops. You should just hand rotate it. Especially if you're going to do a feedback. Wait, did I save? That was weird. Did I not hit save? Something weird going on? Okay, something weird's going on now. Why is it now 2.3 microseconds? What'd I do? It failed. Okay, I did something wrong. I screwed up something when I did that. Oh, the rotate left's still there. Duh. Rotated and rotated again. Most English speakers don't know how to use semicolons, so why must crustaceans? Exactly. That's going to be part 3 of today's challenge, is to try to do it without any semicolons. Hey there, Toulouse. Yeah, thank you. You deserve a point. Wow, 260 points. So yeah, now we're down to 66 nanoseconds. Why did it say 3,000% before? Oh, because of how math works, right? It's 97% less. So the other way would be 3,000%, right? Good night, Toulouse. I know it's pretty late. It's 11 p.m. Eastern. 1 hour left before we unlock everything, right? Unfortunately, I'm going to miss when it unlocks because I have an errand to run right at that time slot, which sucks, but that's life. So I have a little bit of time, like 40 minutes. So I think I'll just spend it trying to get rid of all my semicolons. Sound good? How many semicolons can we get rid of? The semicolons here are all because of this. So if we did a rotate left, we'd take the performance hit, but we would have far fewer semicolons, right? So these are all statements, so I'm going to have semicolons. Can I think of a clever way to do this, maybe with a map or a for each? Can I do like 0 to 9 into iter map hold on. I can do another inner fold on this, can't I? Can't I, yeah, can't I just do a fold here? My input is my counters. And so we get mute counter, well, we shouldn't even mutate, but mutate just in case we need to. And then, n, and then inside here, why is it not like this? I don't know. I need to have something else here. How about counters and 0 to start with? And so we have the counters and we have gen there. Am I doing that right? That's a... Can you not put that there? You can, right? Yeah, I can. What I want to do here is say n... Actually, you know what I should do is capture counters 0 there, right? I should capture all the state I want. And then continue to perpetrate it. So this would be like counters n, well, n equals 8. N equals 8. Then gen or else. Is that how or else works? Or unwrap or counters n plus 1. Let me comment this out to make sure I got at least this part right. And that too. Oh, I still need a semicolon here. That's okay, but there's one fewer there's just one semicolon, whereas I used to have a whole bunch, right? Counters gen. What is it not like about these? Expected semicolon, F you! Okay, what did I do wrong here? Oh, I forgot to have a comma. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, I need to map the result to drop the gen. Counters, gen, counters. It didn't like the map because, so it's just 0. There we go. Getting there. Hey there, live coding. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? I've been not keeping up with chat. Let me go back and look at chat. But I completed Advent of Code Day 6. I wasn't able to do it last night, and so I'm catching up today. Using live coder viewers raid. That's right. Hope you guys are having a good day, evening, morning, noon, or night. I'm just looking at the chat that happened before the raid. One issue with avoiding modulo that the compiler won't elide the bounce checks on the array. Because this is talking about how the rotate works if you use rotate left or something else. I think I've lost the train of thought. Rotating the array, increment the index where the dying fish are on each iteration. Yeah, I think I've lost the thread there. That's okay. Oh dear, what does that mean, Sarah? And you found something even faster? You cheated Day 6 Part 2 and you recommend everyone do the same? Well, my solution for Day 6 Part 2 I'm actually pretty happy with because I do it in 66 nanoseconds. So I don't know why you'd care doing it faster than that. According to Godbolt, it's a copy U64 by U64. Okay, you approve then? 0.17 milliseconds, that's 170 microseconds. That's an age compared to mine. What's 65 nanoseconds in milliseconds? 0.000065 milliseconds? Is that right? You can do better. Probably Python, that's as fast as you'll get though. So we can do this in Rust because Rust is a completely compiled language where Python is interpreted. So you have some hard limitations there. Yeah. Using C target CPU native. Oh, you're talking about Sarian's thing. All right, anyway, I solved Day 6, then we made it faster. And now we're trying to do it without semicolons because that's the Musen challenge. So I'm going to have one semicolon here. Maybe we can figure out how to get rid of it, but I think this might work. The side effect of not having semicolons is I think we'll be able to do away with making our intermediate variables mutable. So the only thing I didn't account for was adding gen here. So we have to do that for 6, right? So I need to do that specifically in here. So we would say n equals 6, then gen unwrap or 0 plus, I think, is one way to do that, right? And to get rid of the semicolon, how to do that? I'm not sure how. Because we still need this statement, right? Can I just say I can do it with one semicolon? Let's see if I at least if it still works. Nope, I broke it. I broke it. I'm on line 26. I broke it here. Probably because we don't want to go all the way to 9, right? We want to stop at 8, so don't go to 9. Well, hold on. It's not inclusive, so what does 8 do? It should have gone into that. Oh, right. We don't want to pre-compute that. Right? Okay, that can still say to 0, but we want to use a lambda there. The difference between unwrap or unwrap or else is that unwrap or computes the argument, unwrap or else does not. You give it in terms of a function that's only computed if you go into the else. So that should fix that, right? Yes. Okay, so how does that hit our performance? Probably a lot, right? This is probably going to kill the performance because we're going through like a function call now. Oh no, it's still pretty fast. 76 million iterations in 3 seconds. So we're going to get a good time. So it didn't really affect performance. That's good. So it looks uglier, but we have only now one semicolon right there. Right? Now here's where I might need Musen to tell me how to get rid of that last semicolon. Assign isn't actually a statement. That means I can get rid of the semicolon. It's a statement expression which returns a unit. Oh, the iter once trick. Yes. So I can iter once and then map it, right? Standard iter once. And then we give the value, which is that. And then map the It's going to be an unit. Counters. Or do I have to borrow counters? Wait. No, I have to change this assignment. Right? Wait, hold on. Oh, I do need to call next to get the unit out. And okay, so yeah. That's what I was about to do with this map here, but I'm like, what do I put in there? I guess you're saying I just do a next, I don't do a map. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, exactly, it's a then. Or it's a, we get an optional unit out, right? So, I hate looking at chat to see what the answer is. Let's try to figure this out myself. Okay, so that works too. Sum counters equals foo map unit to counter. So, but I could do it this way, right? I can do a next and then unwrap. No, it's still a map, right? Hold on. Next here produces an optional item. It wouldn't I just map? I get a unit out there counters. What am I doing? Why am I typing? I should just do that, right? That's not quite right. What do I get there? Unit. I have to call next, don't I? Unwrap. And what is it going to tell me? That I could do this with a statement? Move the expression in front of the call and replace it with the unit literal. Yeah, but then I need a semicolon. That's what we're trying to avoid. So I think we're just going to tell Clippy, you can take your unit arg and stuff it. Right? Hey, look at that. No semicolons. Don't listen to Clippy. Exactly. Actually, we don't just not listen to Clippy. We tell Clippy to shut up. Because we got semicolons to get rid of. Yeah, look at that. Now, did it kill my performance? That's what I want to know. I got 25 minutes more to play around with this. Well, no performance hit. So that tells me that the compiler is rolling its eyes at my attempt to do elaborate tricks and saying, it's all just copying from one thing to another with some additional checks. Right? Okay, can I get rid of semicolons here? Yes, I can do the same trick, right? So, standard iter wants that map the unit away. Give me counters. Next, unwrap. Right? And then I have to tell it to be quiet again about the unit arg. Actually, since I prefer to keep these warnings in, these allows in there. I could do it for the whole module, but we can just do that, right? So it gets rid of that semicolon. We have any left? I think we're out of semicolons, except for the constants at the top. Okay, there are semicolons in our declaration of it being an array, and I remember said there's a way to get rid of that, but it was pretty crazy, right? So I don't know if I'll do that. I'm going to say this semicolon doesn't count because it's part of the type. It's not a statement separator. The option approach. What's the option approach? Hold on, let me scroll back. You had two approaches. Oh, it's with sum instead of iter once. Well, we have some benchmarking. We can compare. See if it helps the compiler a little bit. So this iter once becomes a sum. See how fast it is right now. 66 nanoseconds. Sum, and then it's just a map, right? Without a next. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we got rid of the next. And sum is easier to say than standard iter once, so I like it better. So is it better than 66 nanoseconds? No change. Maybe a little bit faster. As for that array 0, we can do that. I'm okay with unrolling the zeros. So we can get rid of that semicolon. Good point there. I don't mind unrolling that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know why I typed it without just copy pasting. But hey, we got rid of a semicolon. But the type definition is going to be hard, right? Like, can we even express the type? Where do I have to express it? The problem is it's the API between parsing and the benchmarking part. I don't know how to. Well, we have to use a vector. I guess we can use a vector, right? For the sake of getting rid of a semicolon, we can use a vector. Or actually, here it would just be a slice. We can just say slice that. Yeah, actually, I could just do that from now. I'm down to 1, right? What did I mess up? What? Oh, right, because it's the types don't match. We have to fix this up. Actually, isn't that just borrow? Yeah. We can do that. And then there's probably some dereferences I have to get rid of here, right? Why is counters a borrow on the... Oh, of course. Yeah, so I have to do a copy somewhere, right? Don't I? One of these. Yes, this. So I can't do that. Let me think about this. Where is it? Okay, hold on. Where is the input going? Oh, it's the fold. Okay, so then I need to do like a, I don't know. I do a tvec here. And now these are, okay, I don't want to borrow. I don't want to borrow counters. Why is it telling me? Can I just do, wait. Where did it move? I can't do that? Seriously? Is this a weird thing where I have to do it in order for some reason? Do I have to do that? And just reverse these? And then down here. Does it really matter? No, I totally messed this up now. Why? Why does it expect the vector? Where did I mess this up? Probably because it's that. There. Fixed it. Okay. So So the order there mattered then. It must evaluate from left to right and said, "Oh no, you put the counters into the tuple, so you can't use it again to get the value out." Try doing the shift using standard pointer copy, which according to Godbolt should compile to a pair of copies in SIMD, and it's back to rotate left speeds. Yikes! I need to get a mutable? No, I don't need to. Well, I cheated. I used a vector. Cheating with the vector is not too bad, right? Doing some memory allocation, but only one time. Only one time, so it's a little bit of extra memory allocation. Should I try to do it without the memory The rules didn't say anything about no memory allocation. The rules said no semicolons, and I stuck to the rules. We're still passing. How are we doing on performance, though? So that oh no, we have a compiler error in the bench, right? Because the bench, it needs to borrow the input. Yes. All right. See, that's what it was. Porth. Sarian's doing it. Sarian's making their own language called Porth to solve these problems, and they specifically designed out semicolons from the language, Musin. So there you go. Okay, we regressed. Probably could it be the memory allocation made it regress? Where am I? I'm lost. So I'm going to guess the memory allocation made it regress. So then how to make this work? You said I need to mutate this. Right. So yeah, if we're reusing the input for our nefarious purposes, then I'm going to need a mutable slice. Correct. Which means I can put it back. I'm not going to put it back the way it was, though. Why doesn't sum not work? Because we need to copy, right? Oh, no, that just copies the reference. So I guess we just map n to star n. There we go. A little pesky thing, the fact that why doesn't it show it here? That it's a mutable iterator, so we need to we get a mutable reference to numbers, so we have to dereference the numbers in order to sum them. So in order to run this, we need to produce. No, we just need to say we need a mutable reference, not an immutable one. Couple places, right? And there, and in our benchmarks, there. Nope, I still have a problem. What's the problem? Oh, this is not mutable. Now it is. Hey. Oh, that's gonna destroy it though, right? We can't do that. I need to give it. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. This is going to screw up the benchmark because it's not the same input every time. So how do I fix that? I need to give it a copy when it goes in? Ooh. How do I benchmark that without... I don't know how to do this with Criterion, because I need to restore the input between iterations without that being included in our timing. Clone it outside of the closure. But the problem is I need to give a closure to the bencher, right? And the bencher benches everything inside the closure, so... Wait, that looks pretty clever. So you're saying give it a block that a block that produces a closure. Oh, that's smart. But wait a minute. That's still not going to work because it's just going to call that closure more than once. It's not going to call the expression block more than once. That's still not going to work. It's going to use the mutated input and it won't, not the original input. I think the only way I can solve to bench this is to not mutate the input, but have some kind of internal array, which means I need to introduce another step in my map, put a move in front of it. But then it won't work because I think this one requires an FN mute. I mean, yeah, a move doesn't let you do an FN mute, right? Yeah, I think we'll just have to clone the input inside the benchmark. We have to do that. I have to take the performance hit, right? I can't think of any way out of that. I mean, we were doing that before, sort of, by making a new array. We'll just make a new array, right? We can do this without mutating. We'll just make a new array as part of a map step. So don't mutate that. So when we need to mutate it, here, it would be, Don't I just want to do an inner range here? Oh, why don't I just unwind it completely? Like this. Like that. There we go. I did it. And we don't need this map anymore because it's not iterating immutable. Yeah, there we go. Bench that. Got 10 minutes. Why can't Windows make it easy to see what's holding a file handle? There's a program you can use that tells you that. I use this program called Process Explorer. Sysinternals Process Explorer. Oh, you're using that? So you don't need me to tell you? Yeah, this thing will tell you what. It just takes a while. You have to be patient. I don't think there's a screenshot for it, but yeah, this... It'd be nice if he told you on the file properties. Yeah, it would, but I think it's just an expensive operation, the way they do it, right? It takes forever to do a find on path name. Anyway, I think I'm slouching. That's why my camera is not centered. Okay, we didn't hurt the performance, and we got rid of all our semicolons. Isn't that cool? Except for the constants at the top. Oh, no, there's still one there. Tests don't count. Actually, we don't even need those. Why do I still have that? Because I didn't address that one yet. I just addressed the bench. So how do I get rid of this one? I guess... I think I'm just going to address it by making a vector. It's a cheating way to do it. And then, it's just that when we, yeah, it just vec. Yeah, just vec. And then, everything else is automatic, right? No, there's an error here. I cannot move out of counters. Where did we move out of it? Like, it's captured. Oh, but we can make this a sum, right? Get rid of that next. Forgot to do that. But that came in handy right there. Okay. Still working. In your constraint, you can, but yeah, but you're like God level. I'm pretty far below that. We're just going to go with no semicolons. But I'm still allowing statements and user types. Actually, it gave us a little bit faster performance. Interesting. That might be an anomaly. Okay, we're down to only the constants, right? Yep. See, the only semicolons in this solution file are on the constants. So I could violate one of my own principles and remove the constants. It would require that I have this include string in 2 places, at least, though, right? I mean, it's not too bad, I guess. Also, we would have to put it in the benchmark too. I think I'm going to say those don't count. Macaroons can technically count, so you can make an array that does, that does the unwinding for you. You mean? Windows literally tells you the executable name in the file in use error. Oh, I see. You mean they could? They could say, this file cannot be opened because it's opened by some other process, right? That would be nice to know. It actually does? I thought it just said it's in use, not who's using it. Huh. Well, there you go. I didn't know. Maybe is this Windows 11? Still on Windows 10. I don't know these magic tricks. Trait whatever to initialize the array. I get it. Windows 10. I never knew this. This must be something I've never seen before. I thought it just said that it was in use. AOC has started. Yeah, we're on day, or you mean day 7? No, 20 minutes to go. But yeah, we're 7 days into it now. But you knew that, Shershak, right? Or you mean my stream? I usually start about this time anyway. I'm getting confused. I can't actually stream when 7 unlocks. I have to do an errand, but I will start my second stream of the day a little bit after when it unlocks and just try to catch up. I have to go in 5 minutes though, so I need to wrap up soon. Go on my errand, then come back and do the second stream. So if you want to see more AOC, come back in roughly half an hour. Got a few minutes left though. What can I do to finish this? Oh yeah, here's how fast I solved it. Since I started really, really late, I couldn't use the site. The site's going to tell me it's like almost 24 hours, right? If I go to here and I go to personal stats, yeah, 22 hours. So my actual times are here, and I don't really know how that ranks unless someone else solved it in 14 minutes and 36 seconds. I don't know what my rank is, which kind of sucks. But that's life. And also my day 7 scores are going to be skewed by probably 15 minutes as well, but yeah, that's okay. Input. I'm only making this constant so that I can reveal it to the benchmark. Should I just make them both constant just for uniformity? And then the difference between parts 1 and 2 is just the number of days. And this is our absurd semicolonless answer. Actually, we do have an array in there, so there technically is a semicolon until I hide the inlay hints. Now there's no semicolons. Yeah, the price of not having any semicolons is you have to be literal about your arrays. Unless you do a trick with macros like Musen's talking about. This is the lavender fish solution, yes. It looked nicer before I went on part 3 challenge, which is to get rid of semicolons. It looked a little bit better. I should have saved it before I did this step so that I can go back. But yeah, stuff like this is just so that we can get rid of semicolons and all this. Yeah. But the core of it really hasn't changed. It's that we first parse the input into a bin of 10 integers where we're just summing the numbers in the input and putting them into the bins. And our solution is to take those bins and just iterate over it the number of days. And each iteration is just a rotate, but then with an extra feedback step, which is here. So at position 6, you add in what was in position 0 at the beginning. Otherwise, this is a rotate where it's the last position gets the first position. Every other position gets the position +1. So it's like a rotate left only. We found out that rotate left actually has a performance hit, so we did a manual unroll of the rotate left, which was faster. And the solution that I have is about 66 nanoseconds on my computer. Not bad. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed day 6. I'll be back in about half an hour to do day 7. In the meantime, why don't I rate someone who's working on or about to work on day 7 so you can have someone to watch for half an hour? This is all assuming that you really want to watch me and that you'll come back, but that's okay if you don't. I don't care that much. Cry. I'll just cry a little bit. Who else is doing Evan to code? I guess we can rate Anthony Wright's code. He's going to be doing Evan to code when it unlocks. He's working on some pre-commit CI stuff like he usually does before then. Hey there, Rally Monkey. I'll be back in half an hour, so come back in a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to raid Anthony Wright's code, I think. Hold on. Get this set up. Here we go. Okay, I'm actually watching an ad, so I gotta wait for that to play out. So I also need to wait for the raid to build up. I don't know. Does Musin have VODs? I don't remember. Hey, but I'll be back. So in the meantime, please enjoy Anthony Wright's code. See you later.